Oh, hello. I'm Lorraine Sish with stampwithlorraine.com, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Baltimore area. And I'm just whipping up an idea here for you to make a really quick and easy Halloween card. My series, Whip It Up Wednesday, which I'm posting on Thursday today. But anyway, it's still Whip It Up Wednesday. I whipped it up yesterday and I just didn't get to record. So anyway, so here we are, and I'm going to show you how you can whip up this very easy Halloween card in no time flat. Whip It Up Wednesday series is pre-recorded, so don't think that you missed me live. If you do like to watch live, you can watch me most Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and you can catch me on Facebook or YouTube. Okay, I stream to both at the same time. So look forward to that. And if you are enjoying the Whip It Up Wednesday, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a comment below, and I would love to hear your suggestions, your comments, your thoughts on what we're doing these days. Okay, so anyway, do you make Halloween cards? I don't make a whole lot. I have some grandchildren, and I give some to some of the people in my community, but I just couldn't resist this little spooky Halloween set, and I thought it was just so adorable. And it comes with dies, of course, so that's what we're going to be using today. Let me flip the camera around so that you can see exactly what we're doing here today. Okay, so we have, like I said, Spooky Halloween. By the way, it is September 2025, so if you're watching this later, it's possible it may not be available from Stampin' Up! Anymore. So just keep that in mind as you're watching. But you can still use this layout or whatever dies or stamps that you have. So that's the beauty of a lot of the Whip It Up Wednesday cards. Are simple enough that you can adapt to the products that you already have and use. So what you need for this card is your card base, which I'm using pumpkin pie with coordinating ink. And you need a layer for the inside. Okay, your card base, by the way, 8.5 by 5.5. I know you can see it here, and it's scored at 4.25. So it's half a sheet of your regular size cardstock. So 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. For the inside, you will need 5.25 by 4 because it's nicer to write on white than the orange. Coordinating ink for the pumpkin pie. Then you will need another layer that's 5.25 by 3.25, and then 1/4 inch smaller than that, 5 by 3 with coordinating ink, smoky slate. We're going to do some stamping tone on both of those colors. Then you need just a couple of scraps. Okay, some white for your sentiment and a little bit of yellow so that we can make that haunted house light up a little bit from inside. Okay, so like I said, we're using a spooky Halloween, but we're also using this new punch called Sign Design, and it coordinates with a stamp set that I do not have yet so far, but I did bring a picture along with me, so hopefully I can get that up here. Okay, here we go. So this is the Sign Design stamp set that coordinates with this punch. Okay, I love the shape of it. It's very different, straight on 3 sides, and the arch, you can use it either direction, as you can see with the stamp set here. This obviously has the arch on top, and then these here have the arch down on the bottom. Okay, so let's go back to our other view, and I chose this one because I kind of thought it had a tombstone shape, so I thought it would be great for the Halloween card. Okay, so let's get our ducks in a row, as they say, and I'm going to start with my card base, and we're going to do a little tone-on-tone stamping here. And oh, I already took my stamps out, silly me. Okay, we're going to use this little splatter here. It could be stars or it could be symbolizing magic, whatever you want. We're going to do that tone on tone, some orange, some pumpkin pie orange. And I'm just going to go around the edges because my other pieces are going to fit on the middle, across the middle like that. So we really don't need much on the top and bottom and very, very little on either side. But we do want something there. We don't want it to look too plain. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly stamp different directions. You don't want it to look too uniform. Go off the page a little bit. Different directions. You get a nice little border that way. Okay, here we go. That's all done. And we're going to do a similar thing on the gray piece, a smoky slate. We are going to stamp the bats from here. Today we're using the sentiment, the little sparkles, and the bats. So that's what we're using here. Not using the little guys here today. They are easy to color, by the way. Just need a little bit. You know, the dog or the cat can be white. You don't even have to color them, you know, any particular color if you don't want to. If you want to keep it simple. Okay, what I'd like to keep next to me is just a scrap of grid paper, like one of my old ones, so that I can stamp off. So stamping off gives us, if we do a second stamping, it's a little bit lighter than the first. And I want these bats to be just in the background because we're going to be using the die cut bats from this collection here for the foreground. So I am going to stamp off first and then stamp onto the smoky slate. Just random. Don't want too many around. Obviously the bats have to go in an upright position. We don't want to turn them upside down necessarily. All right, that's an awful lot of bats, but I think I think it'll be fine. Some of that's going to be covered over. We don't have to do them down below. Bats are usually up high in the air. And this is going to get layered on there, and it's going to go across our card. Now, but wait, I'm going to show you a trick. I said there'll be die cuts involved, right? So we are using Memento Black for our sentiment, but first I am going to show you to use these dies. Let's cut them out of that layer. So that, number one, you don't need another piece of cardstock and you're not wasting paper. Okay, so less cutting. We're going to just run that through the machine using the sandwich, as we say, the base plate, the number 2 plate, one of the clear lucite number 3 plates. Mine are old and etched and ready for a change. Then your cardstock, and then the next number 3 plate on top. You're going to run that through your die cut machine, and then when it comes out, voila, magic of television. Here are your die cuts, and you're going to use that same sheet for your layer behind here because no one's going to see that. Why use another sheet of cardstock? So I'm going to make sure I just put my glue around the edge here because if I put it in the middle right now, it's going to go through that hole and get my work table a little sticky. So for now, you can see this is where I was practicing my my bat stamping. Okay, so for now I'm going to do that, but just to be sure, I love using my silicone mat. No glue will stick to it permanently. Once the glue dries, you can just rub it off into the garbage. Okay, so there we go. Just in case some did leak through, and it did a little bit there. This is okay. So I'm just going to rub that off. Peels away. All right, then this is going to go right across the middle there. Now I can put glue in the middle of that. Catch the gray, smoky slate. Right across like that. And then we can build our scene. we have the haunted house, which, by the way, as you can see, when you take this out of your die cut machine, you will have to poke out the circles, the windows. Okay, these happen to get stuck in there, so just take your pick tool and poke out those little bits right there, and whatever's left stuck in the die, just pop them out, or you can use a handy brush. Mine is a separate tool, but you can get an extension for your pick tool with a rotating brush that you can just rub those little pieces out real quick. Okay, so then I said we needed a little piece of yellow scrap because we're going to light up those windows in the back. Doesn't that look cool? Okay, so basically I just took a scrap and kind of tore it down a little bit to be approximately the size that will fit behind there. So now all I have to do is trim it so that none of the yellow shows in the front. Okay, so I know I can cut just a little below this area here, and I can cut about here. This is where those random size scraps really come in handy. All right, let's see, I'm good that way. I'm going to trim this guy down here and take maybe just a little sliver off this side. And I think that'll work. Look at that. The house is all lit up. Adorable, right? Okay, so again, I'm bringing my little mat out. I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. I'm going to put it all over because right after I put the yellow behind it, I'm going to stick it down on my card. Okay, add a little more glue to here. And that's going to go just like that. I'm going to put it a little bit to the side because I want a bat in that corner. So my finger's a little sticky. And then the fence will go over there. I'll glue down the bat. You can, of course, pop that up with dimensionals if you like. If you want to take the extra time to put adhesive sheets on the back of this black, that could be a good idea. Otherwise, just very carefully put little dots of glue, especially on the ends. Don't want them popping up or catching on something. Okay, here we go. Just like that. And oh, I'm going to pick that up a little bit. I forgot I wanted to slip my sentiment underneath there a little bit. So back to the white scrap. We're going to stamp the sentiments in Memento Black. And punch that out. Normally, I don't do a lot of die cutting on my Whip It Up series because it does take time. But because this is all one sheet, you can fit all 3 dies. Uh-oh, that's all 3 dies. It makes it super easy. So it's a way that you can use dies yet still whip something up quickly. Okay, so see, that kind of reminded me of a little tombstone. So we're going to stick it back there as if it's in the cemetery. I'm going to not cover the letters, but make it look like it's behind the fence. All right, let's add some glue here, and luckily I could slip it right under there. Whew, glad I caught that. Okay, now we need that second bat, and our card is done. There we go. Those tops of those are still a little sticky, so there they go there. And our second bat flew away. Here he is. All right, I'm going to take my black mini dots. And even they might be just a little bit big. So I am going to first make sure I have the right side of the bat facing. I'm going to just cut these edges into little strips so that fits the shape of the bat's wings. There we go. I think I should put a little something down there. So put one right up the middle. That might be a little fat, maybe a little long. Okay, here we go. Tiny pieces there, but it's worth it. Let me cover up my ink. And like I said, take this layout, use those layers. Do this with a floral theme. Do it with other animals or whatever. And there we go. Let's put our inside piece right in there. And well, of course, if you wanted to, you can sample a little something in there. Add another little bat. But we're going to whip it up. We're just going to leave it for now. You can always add something later because we're whipping it up today. So there you go. Cute, fast little Halloween card. Remember that trick. Use your die cuts in the layers that are not going to be totally seen. Okay, so I hope you like that. I hope you too can whip up a quick card like this. And I thank you for watching. And if you do want to join in live sometime, I'll see you most Fridays, like I said, at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. That's Eastern time. Alrighty, thanks for showing up, and thanks for whipping it up with me today. Have a great one, everyone.